This video is sponsored by Wix. As artists and illustrators, we all know how much time we have to put into our own work. We have to come up with the concept, we have to work on the lines and the line work, we have to find that beautiful color palette to actually use in that illustration. And once those fills, the shading, and everything is done, let me actually ask you this question. How much time have you actually spent into promoting or presenting your art a little better? We spent all this time creating the work, but how much time are we actually devoting to promote and showcase our art a little better? So let's take Instagram for example. It's an amazing place to showcase your work, but in that profile that sits at the very top of your page, you really only have one single link to actually showcase a little bit more than just your stills and your animation that's sitting at the gallery of Instagram. So for example, if you have an online store, if you sell your t-shirts, or if you sell brushes, or if you have a YouTube channel, you can really only put one link there in the bio section, and that's really not enough. So for today's video, I've actually partnered up with Wix, and we're going to be building step by step. I'm going to take it to the computer and build this page with you step by step to be able to show you. This is not going to be a super extended tutorial, but it's going to give you a lot of the basic tools and just overall knowledge on how to build a profile page with Wix. My name is Leo and you're watching Ghost Papers, so now let's get to it. So you may already know how Wix is a great tool for building stunning websites with their website templates or starting one from scratch. You can build blogs, digital portfolios, online stores, you can create curated email marketing pages, and much more. Once you make your account with Wix, it all starts with a very few simple questions in order to let the website builder find the best solution for you. First, it will ask you, who do you want to build this website for? Yourself, a company, a client? Then it will ask you, what kind of website are you looking for? And here within all of the options, I've put digital art portfolio. And finally, you have to decide if you prefer to have the Wix ADI build this website for you with a few more questions, or if you rather just choose from one of the many starting templates that they offer. For this video, we're going with option 2. And then Wix actually gives you as well lots of really interesting and nice templates to choose from. So you have graphic illustrator, graphic designer. I've browsed a few of these themes. There are some really amazing themes over here. And I believe that on page 2, if I keep scrolling, I actually want to use this one as an art director. So you can click view and kind of have a quick preview of this theme right here. You can also click on view full demo, and then you can really get a sense of what the theme is all about. You can see the hovering states. You can check in some of the pages even. You can go in the about page and check like the cleanliness of the theme and see if that one is for you. In fact, this one is the one that we want to edit for this video. So I'm gonna hit the button edit this site. And now that we're here, welcome to the Wix editor. Basically, let's just have a quick overview of what we're looking at here. So basically you have two toolbars, one on the left, one on the right side. The one on the left actually allows you to create all of the elements that you need for your page or your website, while the one on the right allows you to copy, delete, duplicate, modify, and tweak all the elements that you bring in. So starting on the left menu, the very first button is about menus and pages. With that, you can create new pages, you can create menus and submenus, you can hide or review pages and go into each page settings, tweak the SEO keywords, and more. Next, you have the background section where you can tweak the background of your website, import your backgrounds, or use one of the provided images from Wix. Then you have the add button, which basically is a library of so many elements. You can add like boxes, text, images, buttons, galleries, and interactive elements, and so much more. Then you can also tweak the theme colors for your website. You can use the Wix Market app to actually choose the best widgets for your website. You have the media section where you control the photos that you bring from your library, and even to choose and select more photos that Wix can provide for you, as well as upload photos from your Facebook, Instagram, and other social media accounts. You also have a dedicated blog section that you can create for your website. You can also start offering online bookings such as one-on-ones, consulting services, video classes. And finally, you have a whole section here about SEO, keyword search, so that you can tweak and optimize your website to be highly searchable on Google and other search engines. Now on the right side of the toolbar here, you have, as I've mentioned before, everything that you need to copy, modify, and transform elements that you bring into your website. So for this video, we're going to be going to the site menu, and we're going to be adding a page. And then in this new page that we just added, I'm just going to be calling social media page. Then I'm going to hit done, and I'm just going to drag this to the bottom just to be a little bit more organized. I'm not really going to be messing around with these pages too much. So I'm just going to click here, and we know that we are in the page that we want to, which is the social media page. Now, a really cool component, because we're going to be designing this basically as a mobile page, we're going to be switching back and forth here with the desktop version and the mobile version. So you can also start customizing your mobile version right away. Wix is really friendly. You can skip this and do it manually, or you can just click on this and just kind of go through this wizard to help design your mobile website. So for example, designing your menu. If you do have a menu, how do you want it to open? Do you want the menu to come from the left side? Do you want it to kind of float or come in from the center or from the right side? So for now, I'm going to set it to the right side. We're not really going to be using too much of a menu, but I'm just going to set it to the right. And then how do you want your header to kind of show up or go away actually on the scrolling feature? I'm going to leave for now scrolls with the page and hit next. And finally, you do have these quick actions when you're dealing with a mobile page on Wix, or you can have no action bar at all. And for this page, I'm going to leave it as no action bar. Hit next. Finally, do you want to have this button which brings you all the way back to the top? I do think this feature is cool, so I'm just going to accept that, select on yes and hit next. And then we can go into the mobile editor. And this is for now our temporary page. So the thing is about Wix is that you do have a bit more power on the desktop version, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be building most of our elements in the desktop version, and then we're going to be tweaking them in the mobile section. So we're going to be back and forth these two buttons quite a bit here. And one more thing is actually telling me that I do have some hidden elements, which is really nice, because those elements that I was just kind of going through in the wizard section, elements that we've kind of tweaked, they are here, and I can just click on them and they will come back. As you can see, as I'm clicking on these icons, they kind of go back here into the footer section. I can make them go away. I can do all sorts of things, and that's what we are going to start tweaking. So talking about tweaking, this is what we're going to be doing right from the get-go. First off, I'm going to be selecting the title. In fact, I'm going to first go here on the desktop version, and I'm going to double click. And for now, I'm just going to write Ghost Paper just to be safe. Put that in. But now back in the mobile version, I'm going to right click and I'm going to select hide. Then I'm going to right click on the menu and then select hide as well. So we have a clear kind of top section here on the header. So I'm going to go into the desktop version, and then we are going to go into the add items here, and we're going to select image. And now I'm just going to go into my image uploads, and we're going to start adding elements to our page. So for this section, I've actually prepared a few assets that I'm just going to drag from my Explorer right into this little section here, and they're just going to upload here into my gallery. We're going to be using some of these elements here to build our page, or in fact, all of these elements right here. We're going to, as you can see, you have a little uploader window that we can minimize or even close. For now, I'm just going to bring this little guy right here, which is going to be the banner that's going to sit on our header section. So what I'm going to do first is just kind of scale this down, and I want to make sure to click on my header, and I want to give it like enough space to kind of be able to put things in here and then be able to tweak that. And now I'm going to select my image, and I'm gonna drop into the header section, make sure that it's also centered. As you can see, there's a little orange button here at the very top that says attach to header. That's exactly what we want. And Wix is telling me that elements you added to the header will show on all pages. That's totally fine. And now I know I can even see that the Bezier points also have turned orange, which means that our element is now attached to the header, which is totally fine. And that's where we are going to be doing here. I'm going to be scaling this up. So I'm just going to be cropping this actually a bit here first, because I really just want this section here of the helmet, the center section. I'm gonna hit OK, put it back there in the header, and then I'm just going to reposition this a little bit so we have most of the section that I want to show, which is just this kind of ear cup section of the helmet and the eyes of my illustration. Here we go. And now we're going to see how that looks in the mobile section. So now we can see it's a little off the scale, so I'm going to be scaling things up once again, moving things around. It is saying it is cropped, so I'm going to be adjusting this a little bit. And then I'm going to hit apply, and we have the first section of our header is done. It's right here. So I'm going to go back into the desktop version. We're going to add an image from our uploads and gallery. I'm going to add the Ghost Paper logo. So first off, I'm going to make sure that it's quite small because I'm going to attach to the header. Then I'm going to scale that up and just kind of center it to this section more or less. And I'm going to go back into the mobile version, and as you can see, we just need to tweak it a little bit. So I am going to do something like this. So now we have our banner, we have our logo, and we're ready to continue to build now the content section per se. I'll probably just add a title right here that still is part of the banner, or the header. As you can see, as I scroll down, it is really obeying, such as the logo and the banner are both scrolling down on my page. So let's go back into the desktop, add from our uploads. I'm gonna get my little logo here, and it's actually at a fairly decent size already. So I will just scale this down a bit so I can make sure it's connected to the header. But I'm going to bring that down and scale that up. And I will also align this to the center of the page. And now I just gotta move this up just a bit. And here we go. We have the banner image, we have the logo, and we have the written component for the Ghost Paper logo. Now we're ready to start building the page. So first, I'm just going to change the color of our background. I'm gonna make it white, and I can even tap apply to all the other pages if I wanted to, but really I just wanted to the social media page. So I'm just going to close this. And now we are ready to start adding some content. I'm just going to scroll this down a bit so I have enough space to start adding the content to my page. So once again, we're going to go back into the desktop version. I'm going to do the same here so I have a little bit more space to work with things. And we're going to go into the add, and we're going to add another image. And now the very first one, I believe, is this one. We're going to add this here. I'm going to go into my desktop mode, make sure that this is properly placed. So I just got to make sure that this is also properly connected right here. Okay. So we're going to bring this image. I do want to scale this to fit on the width of our page, and it's going to be just like that. And I will now go into my desktop version, and we're going to add text, and it's going to be heading 2, and I will say YouTube. And now for font, we're going to be using Lulu Clean. I just want a very nice, bold kind of title. we want to make sure it is aligned to the center. And as for color, we're going to leave it on white. And oops. And then I just want to move this in the mobile version. I just want to move that element to on top of my picture, which is right here. Sorry. So I just want to move this here. So we got YouTube, and we can start moving to, we can continue to move to our next element. Alright, so here we have all of these sections actually put onto this page. So we have the header, we see the banner, the logo, and the ghost paper written format of the logo. Then you see my YouTube section here, which is going to be a button, the shop section, courses, and gear. So we have the middle section. So now we're going to be creating hyperlinks for every one of these buttons right here. So now that we have all of our images that we want to turn into buttons, I just have to go into the desktop version and click on each of these images, and I have to go into settings. And as we can see, it says when an image is clicked, a link opens, and then what does it link to? And we actually want to add links. So in this first one, of course, we're going to be adding my YouTube link to the first button. So I'm going to add my ghost paper short URL here for my page, and I'm gonna ask to open in a new window. I'm gonna hit done. So that's done here. And what's in the image? Tell YouTube, and this is going to be ghost paper YouTube channel. So now I have to do the same on the text. So I'm gonna hit edit text here on the YouTube one, and then link. I gotta add the web address. I'm going to paste the same one, and that is because I'm going to keep it new window, hit done. And that is because, of course, we want the font or the title to be able to be a clickable item, as such as the background. But one thing that I'm going to do here back in the edit text menu is to actually deselect the underline, because I want this to be clickable. I just don't want to have an underline on each of these titles. Alright, everything is linked here on our mobile page. So now all that is left really here is that I actually want to tweak the footer of this section a little bit. So once again, as I mentioned, we have to go into the desktop version, and I can tweak this a little. The very first thing that I want to do actually is that I want to take away these things. So I'm going to be taking all of these things out, and then I'm going to edit this text. Make sure that it's actually a different color. So in fact, I am going to edit this color here, probably towards a blue, which will be something like this one. And then I'm just going to type ghostpaper.tv, and then I'm going to take this away. And then I'm going to select this text, hit edit text. I want to make sure there's a link to our web address. I'm going to say ghostpaper.tv, and then it's going to be on a new window, and I'll leave this one with an outline. Do I leave it or do I take it away? Maybe I'll just take it away. And then of course we want to edit this. I'm going to say 2021 by Ghost Paper, and I'm going to leave this last sentence here, probably created with Wix.com. And now the last thing that I want to add in the plus button here is back, or in the social section, I want to add the social buttons. So I'm going to be adding this row of icons for my social links, such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. So the best part about Wix in that sense as well is that I can just kind of double click on these icons here on this section, and I can tweak these guys. So for example, I'm not really using Tumblr too much, so I will replace this icon, and I can just tap here, I can just click here, and then on the list of things, I definitely want to be able to add TikTok. So I'm gonna go here and search for TikTok, hit enter, and then I'll be using this guy. So I'm gonna select choose image. So I've swapped Tumblr for TikTok. So I do have Instagram, and I'm gonna set it as the first one. TikTok's gonna be the second one, Facebook third, Twitter fourth. YouTube is already there as a button, so I'll leave it over here. And Pinterest, I do have it as well, but I almost don't use it to offer or to showcase my art. I do use it, of course, as a reference, as to grab references and all sorts of things in that sense. So now I'm just going to click on each of these guys here and be able to add the proper link. All right, all my icons are here. And as you can see, I've repositioned each of the icons to more or less what I wanted. So I'm gonna go back into the mobile version, and I'm just going to tweak things a little bit here. And there you have it. This is our page for now. It's already saved with the autosave, but I'm just gonna click on save. And the last thing that we need to do is to publish. So we're just gonna hit on this link. And here's the final result, guys. I am super happy with this page and this mini site. It has all my information consolidated into one page. It also has these animations showing a little sneak peek of each type of content, and is much more eye-catching than what I used to have before. Plus, it was not difficult at all to build this page once I had all of the elements. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. And once again, if you did like this video, a like would be super appreciated, as well as make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these videos, reviews, and speed paint videos, tutorials, everything to make you a better digital illustrator every single day. Also, make sure to click on the link that's on the description box of this video if you do want to learn more about Wix and start creating your own beautiful website. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.